Hello students, so today in this station you're going to listen and go through a quick review on figurative language. We have already discussed in depth how to differentiate between literal language and figurative language, so now I'm just going to jump right into this PowerPoint and let y'all go through this quick review. Go figure, a quick review on figurative language. So what is figurative language? Whenever you describe something by comparing it with something else, you are using figurative language. There are different types of figurative language, but some of the types that we're going to go through today are imagery, simile, metaphor, alliteration, personification, onomatopoeia, hyperbole, and idioms. So imagery. Imagery is language that appeals to the senses. It's descriptions of people or objects stated in terms of our senses. So whenever you're reading your favorite book and you get to a part where the author is describing this place in the book and you can picture that place in your mind while you're reading, that is the author appealing to your sense of sight. A simile is a figure of speech which involves a direct comparison between two unlike things, usually with the words like or as. So in a simile, you are comparing unlike things using like or as. An example is the muscles on his brawny arms are strong as iron bands. So we're comparing muscles by saying they are strong as iron bands. A metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech which is also a comparison, but it is implied and you're comparing two unlike things, saying something is something else. You do not use like or as in a metaphor. So our example is the road was a ribbon wrapped through the desert. So in our example, we are saying that the road is a ribbon. We did not use like or as to compare it. We said the road was a ribbon. Alliteration. Alliteration is repeated consonant sounds occurring at the beginning of words or within words. So whenever you hear the same consonant sound in one sentence, you are using alliteration. An example is she was wide-eyed and wandering while she waited for Walter to waken. So our alliteration in here is the sound the W makes. And as you can see in most of the words in the sentence, you see the letter W at the beginning of most of the words. Personification. Personification is a figure of speech which gives the qualities of a person to an animal, an object, or an idea. So when we use personification, we're usually saying something that's not living is doing something a living person would do. Our example is the wind yells while it is blowing. Our personification is the wind yelling. The wind cannot actually yell, only living people can yell. Hyperbole, an exaggerated statement used to heighten effect. It is not used to mislead the reader, but to emphasize, let's highlight that, whoops, my bad, emphasize a point. An example would be, she said so on several million occasions. So our hyperbole is a million. The lady in this example did not say so on a million occasions. It just felt like she said so. So we're emphasizing how many times she said the word so. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the use of words that mimic sounds. Our example is the firecracker made a loud kaboom. Our onomatopoeia in this example is the word kaboom. So when you use the example of the firecracker made a loud kaboom, when you say the word kaboom, you can actually hear it. Idioms. An idiom or idiomatic expression refers to a construction or expression in one language that cannot be matched or directly translated word for word in another language. Our example for idiom is she has a bee in her bonnet, meaning in English that she is obsessed. This example, she has a bee in her bonnet, cannot be translated from English to Spanish and it still mean the same thing. If you were to say she has a bee in her bonnet in Spanish, it would mean something completely different.